Hello, everyone. Um, Today's Real Talk. I'm doing live from Mexico. And if you hear people in the background, there's a big Super Bowl party. So I'm going to talk about travel anxiety. And I'm only going to be on for like 10 minutes. But I thought it was still important to continue to do my live. So welcome. It is beautiful here in Mexico, truthfully. Um, So, travel anxiety. I just traveled to Mexico. It was my first time ever going out of the country, and it was a really good experience. Um, I was nervous, a little anxious, but truthfully, it was a really good experience because they have between the airlines and the CDC website, everything was amazingly organized and really helpful for like um, anything that I had questions about. I just want you to see the ocean really quick. I mean, it is 7:08 here in Mexico, but basically, I wanted to choose some of the common triggers and causes of travel anxiety, and then what what some of the symptoms are, and what tips and strategies you can use to address these anxieties, right? So the first is you get anxious because of unfamiliar surroundings. So you go into a new place and you're not aware of like um, your surroundings, the hotel you're staying at is a new one. If you go by yourself, it's different than if you go with someone. Um, so that is one reason why people get anxious. Another, obviously, is the most recent one is COVID. Like there are so many restrictions. Some countries you can't even go, and then even to get back in. So like I'm leaving tomorrow to go back home to the United States, and there's so many things. Like I had to take a COVID test today just to be able to get home tomorrow. And but the good news is that it's become so normalized, unfortunately, because COVID is not going away. Um, that the hotel arranges all that for you. Like wherever you stay, hotel, resort, they arrange all of that for you. You just have to make sure you follow the instructions they have. So COVID is still an issue, but as long as you use your protection, like your mask, hand sanitizer, make sure that you follow the rules. I mean, the place I'm staying at, the resort, is amazing here. And they're very strict. Like you can't even walk through the doors without a mask. You have to hand sanitize. They have a machine that scans you for your temperature. So they don't want unregistered guests here. It's like really, really strict. So, which is good for our protection. And then obviously outside is not like that. You could take your mask off. That's why I have my mask off, because I'm outside. So the third cause is leaving loved ones at home. Now, we all have loved ones that we care for, either children or grandparents or parents or your life partner that you will be worried about if they're not feeling good. I mean, I have that situation myself. So that's another cause. The fourth cause is financial strain. Now, just to take a trip, it costs money. And now with COVID, it's extra. And because during COVID, so many companies, airlines, resorts, hotels lost so much money, they actually had to raise their prices and add additional things. Like now, when we travel, everybody's going to get travel insurance. Why? Because you don't know if your plans are going to be canceled at the last minute, if there's a spike in COVID or something happens with the airline or something. So everybody now has to add that additional travel insurance. I know we did in our group. So, but it is a financial strain because now everything costs more. And now, when you plan it, you have to make sure that you have extra money in case, truthfully. My experience coming here is that you definitely have to have extra money to tip those hardworking individuals that work at the hotels and the resorts, and even the taxis and the transportation people, or any excursions you go on, or any kind of special experiences you want to go through. Because a lot of people are not making the same amount of money, and they're working really hard to like make ends meet for themselves. So when you travel, it's a big deal. Tourism and just even in the United States is really a big deal. So you have to make sure that you plan for that to have extra money. And so it is a financial strain. So that makes finances make you people anxious, and then the last cause, now there's more causes. These are just the top 5 that I wanted to review today is your health issues. If you have any health issues, how do you prepare for health issues when you travel? And that may make you anxious. What if this happens? What if that happens? In some countries or places, water is an issue. Some places, food is an issue. If you have health issues, heart issues, or high blood pressure or allergies, how do you make sure and accommodate those things? That will cause you anxiety, So for me specifically, on this trip, I've had an amazing time. But the reality is that I have had some health things. One, my eye is swollen because I had severe allergic reaction to I don't know what. It could be anything. And so I was sneezing, my throat was itching, my eyes swelled up a little bit, just allergies basically. I'm feeling a lot better today because, again, if you are staying in a really good place, you can ask for certain things. And I was able to get some direction to a pharmacy and get some eye drops for my allergies for my eyes. But that isn't a travel anxiety. If you have health issues, how do you handle that? Because I was not prepared. But now I know for my next trip, truthfully, what I need to do. The symptoms that some people might feel, there's many symptoms people feel when you get anxiety and you're traveling. One is panic attacks, either before you go on your trip or during your travel or on your trip. So I will give you some tips on what to do for that. Second is memory loss. You forget things. Oh my goodness, I forgot this and I forgot this and I forgot this. The third can be problem sleeping right before you travel. Either going to your trip or coming back. Some people have problem sleeping. And a sense of like loss of control where you feel like out of control, like overwhelmed. And so those are some symptoms. There's other physical symptoms like palm sweaty, stomach hurting. A lot of people get sick to their stomach when they travel. And people don't realize that could be anxiety, like your stomach's hurting and you have to use the bathroom or whatever. So some strategies, I got 10 ways for you to overcome it. The first is plan. So plan for anxiety. So meaning that if you know you have anxiety already and you should, if you know you have anxiety already, you should prepare for it. So have strategies that you could use to be able to manage that anxiety. So plan that like it's going to happen. The second thing is use relaxation techniques before you go on your trip, during and after. Third is remind yourself why you're going on this trip. Self-care. Again, why I came to Mexico is really self-care. So speaking of, in the morning tomorrow at 8 a.m. in the beautiful sun of Mexico, I will be doing my coffee with the message. So please join me at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And the fourth is create a list of activities and things you definitely want to do when you're on vacation. That way it's a little more organized and it's not so chaotic. The fifth thing is join a community or group. So don't go alone. Go on a group trip. I am blessed that I came on this trip and there are 13 of us, but there were specific people that I really, connected with, and we had great energy between us. And like tonight, we're actually watching the Super Bowl in the resort. I'm not right now because I'm talking to you guys, but I'm going back over there in a minute. So go with people so you can experience meeting new people, networking, or bring with your friends and family. You always have anxiety when you travel. Okay. I know. I used to have it really bad, but I don't have it as I used to because I actually plan a lot. Like I even have a travel checklist. It's like, and a travel cosmetic bag that's always packed in case. Then I can't even, it's getting dark out here, guys. Plan a trip, travel with a friend. That way somebody you trust. Unfortunately, I have to step in a little bit so I could get the light. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go by the pool. Maybe that light will help. But anyway, so travel with a friend. The other thing, another tip is, I can't see. It's a little dark. Okay, I'm by the pool, and look at this. Look how beautiful. See? The workers over there, but okay, you can see me now. So, what? I can't even read my own handwriting. Oh, avoid when you're traveling, while you're traveling and you're on your trip, avoid anything that may alter your thought process, feelings, emotions. Like, I mean, the research says avoid alcohol, but it's hard to avoid alcohol when you're going on a girls trip, and I'm on a girls trip, truthfully. But you can avoid doing too much alcohol, or do not try any other substances, or try not to do anything that may alter your mind to the point where you can't make good decisions, or it makes you overly emotional. Like anything that causes depression, I mean, you want to be careful about that. Or anxiety, because it could cause some things can cause you anxiety to the point where you're paranoid and worried all the time, and you don't want that to happen. Number 8, use your support system, like people back at home. When I was struggling a little bit, I videoed my family, my life partner, my friends back home, and they talked me through it. Number 9, listen to your favorite music. You should actually create a music playlist that you can actually listen to while you're at the airport, while you're on the plane, while you're away in your trip, and even on your way back. Having a music playlist would be very helpful. And then the last thing is exercise before you go on your trip. So do things like, because you sleep better if you exercise and you're more prepared. Some of the coping strategies that are included, and so those are 10 ways that I mentioned to overcome travel anxiety. The biggest one is planning that I mentioned already previously. And a part of the planning is making sure you have coping strategies that are helpful for you, including like having calming things like visualization, like thinking of your favorite most calming place. I mean, for me, this is amazing. This ocean right here is definitely one of my calming places. So the second is have affirmations that you can actually say to yourself to calm yourself down, so you don't worry about the anxiety so much. The third is use breathing exercises so you can relax yourself even when you're at the airport. So when I was traveling here, I just talked to myself, you got this, you did everything you're supposed to do, because you have to go to customs and immigration to come into another country. And then when I go back now, also, I'm a little nervous, but not really, because since the experience was okay coming into Mexico, now going home is going to be probably fine. And the resort is helping you to make sure you have everything that you need. Another is, whether you're religious or not, or spiritual, you can say a prayer before you leave. I know I always do. My life partner, anytime before a flight, we always say prayer. And then or you can have a specific chanting or mantra you want to say to help you to travel with ease. And then another is meditation, maybe practice some meditation. Another is bring candles or scented oils with you, so when you're on your trip, or even while you're traveling, you can smell something that's calming to you, like lavender. One of my friends here brought a candle for her room in the resort, just to bring, make her calm or whatever. And the last thing is bring things from your home with you when you're traveling that reminds you of being happy and excited. Just like a blanket that's your favorite blanket, or an extra pillow. Traveling is a lot when you pack stuff, but you want to make sure you have something that reminds you of home and that makes you feel comfortable and that is, I don't know what that wind is. Wow, it's windy out here, but it's beautiful, truthfully. Well, I just wanted to get on really quick and talk about travel anxiety, and then hopefully this was helpful for some tips. And please join me tomorrow morning, Coffee with a Message. It will be sunny out here, and I have a great message for you about self-care to start the week off. And thank you for joining me today from Mexico. But have a good night, and some of you are probably watching the Super Bowl or not. And stay tuned for next week, next Sunday at 7 o'clock. I'll have my next live, and it will be longer than this. I just wanted to get on because I committed to this, and I wanted to make sure that I gave you some tips. So hopefully this was helpful, and till next Sunday, well, maybe tomorrow morning if you come join me. Have a good night.